Medications are something that you guys will have to deal with in assisted living. So in this video, I'm actually going to talk about that. So make sure you guys stick around. What's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to my channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, guys, as always, thank you. I appreciate all the love and support you've shown this channel. And if you're new and you haven't yet, make sure to go join that Facebook group that I've created called Legion Assisted Living Academy. And also make sure you guys answer 3 questions prior to requesting yourselves. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Medications are part of something that you guys will have to deal with in assisted living, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. And so how do you handle them, right? Each state will have its regulations on how you handle medications and how you guys are able to set them up for the residents and to be able to give to them, and then also who can give the medications, right? And then how do you discard of them? So the first thing you guys want to know is you want to check up with your state regulations on what they require that you guys do as assisted living homeowners and managers about medications. You know, do you guys want to store the medications yourselves? Are the resident going to have them at their bedside, in their dresser, drawer? Are the medications going to be given by the caregiver, or are the residents going to just take their own medications? Or, you know, are families going to come in and refill the Medisets, or the caregiver is going to do it? You know, there's so many different factors when it comes to handling medications, right? And for the most part, you guys want to make sure that you guys have well-trained caregivers who know medications, right? Know how to properly read the descriptions on the bottles. Also, you want to be well aware of the orders that come in from the doctor regarding the medications, okay? And so when that happens, most families, they really don't want to bother with the medications. That's strictly what they're paying you guys for, or paying me for. So that will be something that you'll have to discuss with the family prior to them moving in, right? Are they wanting to be involved with the medications? Who's going to go get the medications? Are you going to have a pharmacy that delivers, right? These are all there's so many critical questions, right? And I'm going to run down through what I do personally and how I handle medications. But then you also want to keep in mind when a medication is discontinued or DC'd, you want to be able to discard of that medication, right? And that will also be up to your state regulations and what they require that you guys do with those medications when they are DC'd. Usually when they're DC'd, you could have them either sent back with the family, sent back to the pharmacy, or you discard of them however you have in your policies and procedures, and then also how you have it set up in your state, right? And what the state requires of you to do. So let's go ahead and talk about how to properly handle the medications, okay? And so say you go ahead and you look at your state regulations and there's a certain way of doing it. Once you know that certain way of doing it, so like for me personally, I know the certain way that the state requires assisted living homes to do it. So for me personally, I usually talk with the family and I say, hey, you know, do you guys want to have the medications brought here? Do you guys want to bring them? Do you guys want to also set up the Medisets? Usually I don't ask them because normally they just let us handle everything, which is great because I have a process of how I do it. And so I also tell them, you know, because when they're discharged from a facility, they usually bring a med sheet, okay, a medication sheet. And so when they bring that, that gives me an idea of, okay, this is what they are currently on, this is what they're not on anymore. And then from there, I go ahead and I start the MAR. I then start my medication review sheet that I then fax over to the family practitioner or whoever they have as a practitioner or PCP. I have them sign off on it. And if they will then tell me, okay, these are the medications we want to still continue. These are the medications we don't want them to continue. And then once I get that, I will then get that fax back over to me from the doctor signed off. And then that gives me permission to start the medications, okay? And then once I do get that set up, I then have a pharmacy sheet that I fill out and have the family sign off. And I say, okay, you know, we do have a pharmacy that delivers here. If you guys want to use that, you know, this is what we have to do. And then they'll just have a credit card on file to pay for the copay. and then the pharmacy will then call the family practitioner and get those orders and get those filled. Okay, and then the pharmacy always stays on top of everything. They are always scheduled. So, you know, if it's a 90-day supply, they'll make sure that you guys never run out. They'll always have it delivered on time, if not beforehand. Okay, so if they know you're about to run out, they will make sure to get that refilled. So that is how I get the medications set up. And then from there, for the most part, most families let us do all the Medisets. We fill them, and then we also stay in contact with the pharmacist to make sure about anything that gets discontinued stays continued. And then from there, getting the medications to the home, like I said, the pharmacy delivers. And then once the pharmacy delivers the medications, we fill everything, and then pretty much from there, it's smooth sailing, okay? When an order comes in and gets DC'd, what do you do then, right? You then make sure you cross it off on the MAR from the day that it was discontinued moving forward, and then you make a note about it or you chart it, and then how do you dispose of it, right? So for the most part, most families don't want the medications. They're like, we don't need them. What are we going to do with them? So unless it was like a new supply that was just sent from the pharmacy, you could call the pharmacy and say, hey, you know, we just got the supply. It was just DC'd. Do you guys want it back? And most of the time, they'll probably say yes. Go ahead, send it back, and they'll have someone come pick it up. But if it's like towards the end and you haven't been resupplied on that certain medication and it gets DC'd, you then want to discard of it. And so what are the proper ways? You know, there's so many different ways of doing it. You can use hydrogen peroxide. You can use also soap in a bottle, anything of that sort. And then from there, you guys can get rid of it. So guys, if this was insightful, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit that like button. Also make sure to hit that subscribe button and go join that Facebook group if you guys haven't yet. And without, thank you guys so much for all that you've done for this channel. Again, I appreciate you all. And so I'll see you guys all in the next video. God bless. Peace.